I finally got my EBT card! Woo! My name is Michael, and you're tuned into the Wild Woman Show. I hope that you know you're at the Wild Woman Show. Hello. Today, we are going to be talking about the power of preparation and about how to turn opposition into opportunities, okay? So, first example that you have of turning opposition into opportunities is me. Like, I am turning this whole entire experience with Atlanta and the way that people have been behaving into research. It's the beginning of my research into figuring out exactly why people act the way that they act during certain times towards certain types of people, and how that changes now over the course of almost 2 years. And that is a great example because, like, I don't have the money to go back to school right now. And the only thing I have access to is books and the anthropologists that are already out there that are doing the research and their videos and research and books and things. So me being able to start my own research without the resources of being in school or having a financial backer or any of those things is really important to me, because it means that despite where I'm at, despite what's going on, despite the opposition of me getting to what I thought would be the first step in my next steps, I've turned that into an opportunity to use what I have in order to create what I want. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the power of preparation, using your time wisely. We are given 3 resources that you should have at least 2 of at any given time. We are given time, we are given knowledge, and we are given money. I'm going to say money just because I know a lot of people are not going to resonate with me, but I typically use the mentality of abundance over money, because money is just a, what is it called? It's an effect of the cause of abundance. So without having an abundant mindset, without having an abundant work ethic, there's no way for you to get to the money, okay? But I'm gonna use money just so y'all don't get confused. But I just wanna make it clear that I told y'all before, money means nothing to me. It's literally just, like I said, an effect. Okay, so if you are working a lot right now, or you got money, you probably don't have a whole lot of time, but you should have some type of knowledge. You should have some type of skill that you're honing while you're working, and you can use those 2 things, your knowledge and your money, to figure out how to get to more time, how to make more time for yourself to relax, reset, because relaxation, resting, that's not a reward. That's something that you should be doing because that's your birthright. Like, our bodies were not made to be working in this system the way that we work in this system right now. So figuring out how to create more time by using your money, by using your knowledge, that is going to be a big thing. If you're someone like me and you're in a similar position where you have a whole lot of time and you have a whole lot of knowledge, but not necessarily a whole lot of money or abundance, this is the time to use your time to get more knowledge, to figure out how to use the knowledge that you do have to get to the abundance, the money that you're looking for. Me personally, I've been taking this time I've already been doing a lot of research, so I've been taking the time more so, not necessarily to gain more knowledge, but to come up with a plan, multiple plans of how to use the knowledge that I already have, of how to apply what it is that I have learned. And then the other one I did, time and knowledge, money and knowledge, time and money, okay? So if you have a lot of time and you have a lot of money, you don't really have to worry about nothing right now. This is the time to learn something new. There is always something to learn. Learn how to garden, learn how to survive in the wilderness, learn how to make your own weapons, learn how to make, pottery. You can learn how to get clay from the earth and to turn regular dirt into clay. Like, there's literally so many things that you could be learning to do right now. You can learn how to build your own, what's it called? Like kiln, so that you can dry, roast, I forget what it's called. Heat your ceramic pots and things. You can learn how to build your own oven, your own outdoor stove. There's like, you learn how to make bread, so we have these three resources. We always have some sort of access to these three resources, and whichever two resources are the ones that you have the most of, you should be using those to get more of the third one. And today, as I go through my day, I'm gonna be showing y'all, well, not really showing y'all, I'm just gonna be talking about, my journey with understanding that concept and applying it to my life. Time, knowledge, and abundance. Okay, so for me, I'm in a time where I have a lot of time and I have a lot of access to knowledge, and not just new knowledge, but the knowledge that I've already had and the ability to use the time that I currently have to put all that knowledge together. Okay, as a writer, as someone who is aiming to be an anthropologist, as someone who understands what all of that takes, having to know the psychology of human beings, having to know the history of human beings, having to know the religions of human beings, having to know all of these various things that I've been collecting information about for years now, and I'm now in a place where I can put it all together finally, so I can make sense of the patterns. This time that I'm in, and if you're in a time in your life where you have a lot of time and you have either a lot of knowledge or you have a lot of access to knowledge, you should absolutely be using that to get to more abundance. Now, if you have knowledge and money, let's go back to the original words. If you have knowledge and money, then you should be figuring out how to get more time. If you have money and time, then you should be figuring out how to get more knowledge, or how to use the knowledge that you have, how to put it all together. There's literally always something to learn. But for me in this time, not only have I been preparing as an anthropologist and all of that, and as a writer, because as a writer, as you know, or you probably don't know, 90% of writing is rewriting. It's literally writing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I actually had this conversation with my dad the other day. He asked me about how many times do you edit a script? And as I'm working on a few of those, and I've had the opportunity to work on a few of them for productions that have either happened or not happened, I can rewrite a script at least anywhere between 20 and 50 times before it ever sees anybody else's eyes. Then as I start to get more people's eyes, like the executive producer that is going to help me get funding, that helps me put it in front of other people, there's at least another 10 to 20 times of rewriting the script again. And then you start to bring in more of the cast members. You start to bring in like the people that are gonna actually make it work, like makeup artists and wardrobe and lighting and all of these things that go into making a production what people can just sit and watch and that just be it. There's at least another 10 to 20 times before you ever step onto a set, that it gets rewritten, it gets edited. Then once you get on the set, it can be rewritten another 20 to 50 times while you're actively making that product come into fruition. So for me, a lot of the preparation is rewriting, literally rewriting all of my stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that takes time, y'all. That takes time, that takes brain power, that takes energy, it takes resources that I can't waste on things like going to a 9 to 5. That like thankfully I'm in a blessed position to work with a company where I get to set my own hours, and I work with children, so, and I'm tutoring, so I'm still technically in my field of being a writer whenever I'm teaching. So that all goes into that. And preparations wise, like, it's a lot, bro. That's just the writing and the rewriting. That doesn't take into account all the times that I have to watch a show or a movie. Sometimes, well, not even sometimes, all the time, over and over and over again. There are plenty of shows, plenty of movies that I have rewatched and rewatched to get whatever I needed out of that in order to gain the inspiration, gain the perspective, gain the clarity that I needed in order to go back and rewrite whatever it is that I'm working on, that movie or TV show like is helping me produce, you know? So preparation wise, like, me surrendering to this process, being homeless, all of that, whatever, I'm gonna say being a nomad because that's really what it is. All right, yeah, I'm gonna say being a nomad from that here on out, nomad, because that's what I am. I govern myself. I don't look to society, to what everybody else is doing, to govern how I'm supposed to live my life. So right now, in my nomadic era, in my era of living in the woods and taking this time to really look at this as an opportunity and to use it for the opportunity that it is, writing wise, anthropology wise, I'm doing a lot of research, I'm doing a lot of watching, I'm doing a lot of writing. And all of these three things require of me to do it 10 times over, to not just research one thing, not just research or read one book, but to look for other sources that either back up what is being said in that book, in that research, or that it gives me another perspective. And I have to keep rereading these things, I have to keep researching these things, I have to keep watching these things in order to get everything, every piece of knowledge that I need in order to make what it is that I'm creating come into fruition. That is the difference between being on Tubi and being on HBO. And I don't know about y'all, but y'all don't even know all that I have been through to get to this point. But I'm not about to be no Tubi girl. I'm not about to, y'all gonna have to pay a real subscription to see my stuff. Y'all gonna have to go to Barnes and Nobles to buy my books. You're like, that's the goals that I have set for myself, is excellence. And excellence in writing is doing all of these things a million times over until my craft is to the point that when I step on a set or I step into a publisher's office, they already know that I've done the preparation that is necessary for whoever I'm in front of me, their work they need to get done. They got it. They can just do their work. They don't have to try and help me do the work that I should have done in my preparation stage. So, like, that's just the writing. That's just the anthropology, right? I'm also preparing to make friends again, to become hopefully a mother. Before I become a mother, get into a relationship, get married, all of these things. So, like, this time, this isolation has been the perfect time for me to address my patterns. Like I told y'all before in the last videos, like, I don't need a therapist, at least for me, I don't need a therapist to tell me what's wrong, what my wrongdoing in something is. I have the ability to self-correct. I have the ability to look at myself and like, okay, what are you doing here? Where could you have communicated better or communicated more? When should you have communicated faster? Because I'm the type of person, might be a Libra thing, might be a no spice thing, might just be a me thing. But with the whole people pleasing and things, I have always waited too long to speak up and let somebody know, like, hey, I noticed this is a pattern, this is something that you do, this is something that makes me uncomfortable. So like figuring out when's a time that I can let people know sooner, like, hey, something's wrong. How can I go about, how have I already done that? And what was being said was being brushed off because I was coming at it like polite and kind and trying not to ruffle no feathers. When should I have been a little bit more aggressive? And I'm not saying like I need to tap into the part of me that wants to go from 0 to murder in 10 seconds, but like an understanding that I am capable of great violence and having seen what it looks like when I am in a moment of great violence. I have scared myself to the point where in a lot of ways, I have become a pushover. And this time has been vital in me understanding, okay, how do I find a equilibrium between my extremely aggressive side that almost ended me up in some bad places, and the version of myself that I've been up until this point that's just like, oh, no, it's fine, it's okay, when it's not, you know. So like doing that work, and working on my trust issues too. Like obviously I haven't told y'all everything that's happened throughout my whole entire life. Y'all got cliff notes of the last 28 years, almost going on 29 years, and the last 2 years of shenanigans here in Atlanta. Obviously that's created a lot of trust issues. It's been very difficult for me to look at anybody, to be in any space, and not automatically assume that everybody is out to get me. Understandably so. Like, I'm giving myself grace and I understand how I've come to this position. But at the same time, I want friends again. I want to be able to call somebody and be like, hey, I want to hang out. Do you have time to hang out? And actually like be relaxed enough, be open enough to just hang out and not to be thinking like, are they gonna stab me in the back? Should I be worried they're gonna stab me in the back? What does it look like when this person is about to stab me in the back? Like, those thoughts shouldn't be running through my head when I'm trying to create a friendship or when I'm trying to create any type of relationship. And like kids wise, like the ultimate goal for me, which is becoming a mom, is I don't want to be the parent that my kids have to like heal from like deep wounds. I want them to have to heal from surface stuff. Like, I want my kids to know that I did everything possible to become my best version of a human being, so that as I'm raising them, they can come to me, they can question me, we can have conversations. I'm still gonna be a parent, but like, I don't want the life that I had with my parents with my kids. I don't want to be so checked out that I'm not able to have a conversation with them, or that when I do have a conversation with them, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to be so wrapped up in what it is I'm doing and who I am and whatever it is that I've become by the time I'm a parent, that I don't have time for my kids, that I don't make time for them, that I don't make the time to understand who they are, to understand how best to go about parenting them, how best to care for them. I have not only been like watching and dealing with my own stuff, watching myself and my patterns, just being a single human being, but like I've been a teacher for a couple years now. I've been tutoring for a year now. I've been in some form of childcare on and off for over 10 years now. So not only from my situation, but from watching how other parents talk to their kids, how other parents reprimand their kids, how other parents deal with their kids. You know, like, that has made me really vigilant about preparing to become a parent. And then, like, another thing that Another thing that I am preparing for is like life. Yeah, I was upset at first with me not getting my EBT, and I'm still, it's June 25th or July 25th. Still no EBT. I was able to get somebody on the phone finally last week, so it might take until next week. Well, next week will be the absolute yay or nay. People are really messing with me and trying to keep me from getting the help that I need. But like, me doing all this walking, like, I'm trying to go on hikes. I'm trying to show y'all the world through my eyes. I'm trying to take y'all with me, not everywhere, but I do want to take people where I am going, where I aim to be in life, which is in the mountain ranges, in the desert hills, in the, like the grasslands. And I'm not going to be taking the short way. I don't want to be taking a car everywhere. I want to be walking. I want to meet the people that are in the small towns that you can only get to by hiking 5 miles. And if I haven't prepared my body for that, then how am I going to be able to do that? Food wise, like, my grandmother, she lived, rest her soul, love her. She lived to be 92, 93. She looked like she was in her 60s up until she got sick. So, like, until like 91, my grandmother looked like she was in her late 60s. That's the type of life that I want to live. I can't have that future. I can't have me 90 years old looking like I'm in my late 60s, early 70s if I'm eating food that I know is not good for me. If I haven't trained myself to be hyper vigilant, to be attentive about what it is I'm putting in my body. Now, in my 20s, I'm trying to get rid of all these bad habits that I've accumulated, and I have been doing that. I've been working on my diet. I've been learning about herbal medicine. I've been learning about foraging, about the importance of foraging, about why, especially here in the US, why foraging is such an important thing to know and learn and to do. Like how we, at one point as indigenous people anywhere, like, majority of us are prisoners of war. We are still prisoners of war. We are living in a society that our people did not create. And the societies that our people had, no matter what you look like, if you're not a white person, they was foraging. They was taken from the land. They was given back to the land. They knew how to go into the woods and find if you had a broken something, or you had a cough, or you had a headache, or whatever the case may be. They knew how to heal everything from what the creator, no matter what name you put on the creator, gave us. Okay? So, like, I'm teaching myself this stuff, nutrition, food, what's in the food that's in the stores, how to go get my own food out in the forest, all of this stuff as preparation. I want to be a mom, I want to be a wife, I want to be able to make sure my family is healthy, but for me first, me first. I want to have a healthy life. I love my family, but I don't want to be my family. I don't want to be dependent on alcohol. I don't want to be dependent on a cigarette. I don't want to be dependent on sugar. Because sugar is my cigarette, is my alcohol. And this time of surrendering to the process of being a nomad, of understanding what that takes, I've been able to break that habit. Finally, after 28 years, I was that little kid that was eating sugar packets. I was that little kid that you knew if the brownie mix went missing, it was probably in my room along with the icing, because I had a serious addiction to sugar. Okay, and I still got some steps to go. I'm still trying to get off cheese and other things, but like, I've taken leaps and bounds in my preparation, because once things pick up again, once I no longer have the time again and I'm back to a place where I just have knowledge and money, or abundance for me, I need to already have these practices that I've been solidifying in my life at this moment in place. And that for me is the reason why preparation is so important, because prevention is the best thing. I'm not rushing to fix nothing when it's broken. Everything is already fixed, or I already have a plan in place to fix said things, because what I've been doing this whole time, I've been preparing. I've been preparing for everything. I've been working on my spirit so that when I come across our ancient ways of being connected to the Creator, and not these watered down, colonized ways of being connected to the Creator, I'm not terrified. Because I know that I understand, not only as an anthropologist, not only as someone that has to do the history and understand how we get to these places with these religions and all of these things, but because I've actually taken the time to practice with myself, like, okay, trust your intuition. Your intuition is there for a reason. You have the blood of your ancestors in your vein. The blood of your ancestors is all you need to understand that whatever you're experiencing, you are prepared for. You were made for. You were made to be capable to handle and withstand whatever it is that you're coming across as you go deeper and deeper into this process. So yeah, preparation, y'all. Preparation is key. Understand the power of preparation. Understand how you can take whatever time it is that you have, whatever money it is that you have, or abundance, depending on your mindset, and whatever knowledge that you have, and to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Because y'all see what's going on in the world. We are literally repeating history. You have to prepare yourself for whatever comes next. And we don't know what comes next. No matter how much we repeat, we don't know what comes next. So use this time, use this knowledge, use this money. Figure it out, plan some things, prepare some things. Be willing to break your idea of what it is you think you know apart, so that when whatever comes next, and we at that moment, you ain't gotta prepare for nothing. You already prepared, right? Right. Okay. Love y'all. You already know what I'm about to say. Prepare. Go prepare. If you ain't preparing, you already late. You're already late. You see what part of history we're in now. We're not at the beginning of anything. We're in the middle of everything. So go prepare, bro. Go prepare. Please. Thank you.